Hello and good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your captain speaking, and welcome to Wk3 Racing. In this video, we're going to be going over the weekly events. Will be one of 5 that we're going to be doing. I want to try to get these done on Fridays, the day after they come out, because Friday is the only available time I have. So yeah, we're going to try to do this. We'll start with this and then work our way to the right, obviously. The thing about this one though, is that the payout isn't necessarily all that much. And so having to find a car to match 380 and then, yeah, it's not worth it. So what we're gonna do is just hop on my cappuccino. Um, yeah, and then I mean, we could go with comfort softs or sports hards, I guess, because it's not too OP, whatever. But still sport tires. I mean, if you're racing with comforts, like if it's a challenge, okay. But if you're able to use any other, then okay, whatever. All right. There's a two in there for you. So rule number one again with suspension tuning is well, not rule number one, but step one always is setting your ride height. Sardinia is bouncy, so we don't necessarily want to go too low. They have curbs that we're going to be driving over, so we don't want to be too low. We'll just do 100 points up from here, 10 points up from here. And then for the rear, we're going to have a little bit of a rake. Reason is because when we accelerate, the rear end is going to squat just a little bit. And we don't want it to squat too much. It's going to, but not too much. Um, when it does squat, it might balance out evenly, or it could go a little bit lower. But if we had it set evenly and it squats down 3 points, then that's way too low, right? So to compensate for that, I'm just gonna put 2 points up. That's when you do that. And then step two with tuning is your natural frequency. Obviously, this is 2.7 times the front end. I'm sorry, let me switch to controller. The front 2.7 times the weight of this multiplied by the weight ratio. So 0.51. 1358 times 0.51. Whatever that value is times 2.7. And it's just 2.7 times the strength of that. That's all that means. This also has considered braking. So when we hit the brakes, weight shifts forward. So that's already considered there. And then for the rear, I just wanted to leave it to match it. It could go lower, maybe 60. Sure, we'll leave it at 60 because our next step is the anti-roll bar. Because it's one thing to set your suspension stiff going up and down, but there's also going to be lateral forces when you turn, and this is where these come in. Um, so because our suspension is somewhat stiff, we're going to set this somewhat in the middle. I mean, it's a little bit softer, but it's somewhat in the middle, and then therefore our dampers need to be softer. If everything is set up on the stiff end, then your whole entire suspension setup will be too stiff. Because Sardinia is bouncy, we're gonna set these softer. Okay, because our anti-roll bar and our natural frequency is already stiff. So we can soften these. We don't want it to be any stiffer, right? Okay. Set this to 26 as well, because yeah. If your suspension is too stiff, then the weight transfer will overload the tires. When it does this, you're susceptible to spinning out, and we don't want to do that. So a little bit softer there, a little bit softer here, and then for the dampers, expansion is it plays a different role. So what we're going to do is set it a bit stiffer because when you accelerate, as the suspension expands, we don't want it to expand too fast. And so if it's trying to expand, um, when it does so slower, it's pulling the weight of the wheels uh, up off the ground. But because the wheels has weight, it's keeping the nose down, which is why we want these stiffer a little bit. For the rear, it's a different story because when you hit the brakes, the rear end comes up, and you don't want the weight of you don't want the car to pull the wheel off the ground with it. So a little bit softer than the front. Otherwise, the rear end will start to slide around when you hit the brakes, and that's not good. You can compensate for that by increasing brake sensitivity, but that's still not good. um, because our car is also short wheelbase, it's going to be agile, so you can increase your toe angles to help stabilize your car a little bit. And then for the camber, this is set up for understeer because the rear end has a lot more oversteer. And so if the front is understeering while the rear is oversteering, it cancels each other out. Okay, so yeah. All right, and then for transmission, 250 I think is too short. I think we can go taller. So what we're gonna do is set this to 4.0. Let's go 4.1. And then we're gonna set our speed to 280. And then we're gonna set our fifth gear to as high as it can. Lower this so that that reads 280 or close to it. Boom. Lower this down, which I think we can lower this down. This will be 1.0. This will be 1.4. 1.14. 1.34. 1.6. Wait a second. Oh, we only have 5 gears. 1.65. And 2.2. As low as it can go. Cool. And that will be that. Downforce, whatever. 100, no ballast, none of that. Turbo. And that. This is basically just my track car. I don't necessarily care too much for PP. It's just the handling. And a little bit of upgrades, of course, but whatever. Alright, here we go. Excuse my voice, it's I think I'm getting sick, so it's doing what I can. And Atenza sedan. Geez, doesn't it have like 300 something horsepower? It's gonna be, it might be difficult to catch it, but we'll do our best. First gear. Maybe 280 is too tall. We can adjust it later. Yeah. Inside. Woo! Dang. The gear is too tall. But we're here anyway, so we'll just leave it. We'll see how fast we can go with this. And how much we need to adjust, etc. It's pretty good, I guess. Whoa. Let's to the inside undercut. Ha ha ha. An 8.6, man. That's fine. We're not necessarily here for the challenge, you know. See how much roll? Whoa, good thing that's there. Jeez. Nice. And yeah, that's it. Who cares? Yeah, it's easy, whatever. Like, yeah, but it's the Sunday Cup, man. Who cares for this Sunday Cup? Do this on Sunday. Hey, alright. I mean, of course, you can always detune from here to find, to make it more of a challenge for you. But again, the payout is like, yeah, it's not even worth it. I don't even yeah, I don't think so anyway. What was it, like 20k or something? Like 30k? Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, yeah, but that's a given. Right, moving on to the next one, right? This is 1.1 of 5, so yeah. If you guys learned a thing or two with the tuning, then a like would be good. It'll help out the channel. You guys already know how that works. So yeah, until the next one, guys. Part 2 of 5. See you then. Bye-bye.